Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the bronze round. With me, I've got AOL Iron Maiden. You may know him, he's casting everything these days. And in the red color, this is Grass, playing as Kronos. You're gonna do Ryuk. Goat in progress. That's right. But this is a good matchup. So here's the big differences. Kronos gets access to Hyperion. He gets access to Prometheus, right? So he's got these early villagers that build super fast villager heroes, and then you can boost that with your manners even more. Gaia doesn't have that, but you do get your heroes for free at the start. And later on, you get Gaia. You get Hesperides trees, especially multiple Hesperides trees, and then you print. You print those tree people. There's fanatics in this, so and Cairo Ballista spam is also pretty meta. It's pretty metal, to be honest. Very difficult to dislodge them. Even if you get Contarius on top of them, there's gonna be so many that they kind of tear them down, then you protect them with Catapulti's Fanatic. Yeah, they're kind of gonna dominate. But you get out a few Fire Siphons, then they get dislodged, and that's exactly what Ryuk is doing. Oh, he's went Hecate for Lampedes too, interesting. Oh, we don't have audio for you again? What? How do we not have audio? For Maiden?
It's okay, just do your thing, Naka, just do your thing.
It's fixed. I do apologize, everybody, that was very bad. Alright.
It's all good.
Yeah, Lampedes are interesting here because first they do divine damage in Retold, so just really effective at dealing damage as a ranged unit. They will be regenerating as well, thanks to their upgrades. If they chill under Hesperides tree, they get even more healing from that, and they turn people into chickens. Also, they turn people on each other.
Nice. Speaking of turning on each other, Chaos is coming in, not yet. Oh, that was from the Lampedes. Dude, this is interesting. Nobody's really, well, I guess if you look at Ryuk's side of the map, he's kind of going after both of the town centers, right? Yeah, he's got that TC down on that side.
Wow.
Back TC, nice. Both players on a couple of town centers, right?
Yes, Grass is working on the front, but I mean, it's right in front of a bunch of heavy Fire Siphons. That's going to be a difficult one to get up. All Ryuk needs to do is sneeze in that general direction, and it's gone.
A fire sneeze, a siphon off a sneeze over yonder, and he's golden. That's a lot of Fire Siphons, man. That's almost too much, I'd say. You gotta have enough army to protect those bad boys. It
is scary, but you retreat back into the palaces. They will kind of cover for you. And then there's the Lampedes turning everybody into chickens. Do you see all those dead chickens? They're just getting started. Like, there will be a field of them later.
Just imagine if they were ancestors' chickens, like mummies. That'd be cool.
Oh, wait. 3 of them just got sniped by, I think, the Cairo Ballista heroes and the Satyrs. So Satyrs are actually really good anti-myth units with their 3x multiplier. Yeah, you kind of don't need heroes, man. You just make Satyr.
Yeah. They're crazy strong, dude. I also saw the Cairo Ballista in a lot of the games I was casting earlier today. The hero Cairo Ballista are crazy strong. I was like, dude, there's maybe a reason why those didn't exist back in the olden days.
Yeah, I do tend to agree with that. They are really, really powerful, but they are 4 population and they have nothing for crush armor. So when you have, I don't know, a catapult, a patrol blast, a fire siphon, whatever, they will destroy them. So you have to be really careful with where you put those. But yeah, the direct fight, army versus army, absolutely, they're great. I mean, look at this.
Oh, yeah.
They're outperforming here, definitely.
Looking good. And dude, exactly like what we said, man, that town center, check real quick if Ryuk has his third town center on that front side. Okay, he's getting there. He's getting there. Fire Siphon, though, coming out.
He might have been fire siphoned himself. That's probably what happened.
But still, there's not very much over there. So if Grass isn't careful, Ryuk might be able to sneak it up. Whereas all the action is right here. And so Grass needs to put in a whole lot more effort to try and secure that town center compared to Ryuk on that bottom side.
He does, but honestly, resource-wise, Grass is not doing so badly. He's got all this extra food still. He is, sorry, they're flipped. They're flipped. Let's flip him. So, yeah, this is so much easier. Grass is actually doing great with resources, but Ryuk has more food. He can convert that into caravans very easily. The problem here was that he spent so much on the fire siphons, right?
Dude, Eka, speaking of caravans, man, and the Gaia Lush, like that makes a nice little TC reset there. That makes Ryuk's trade better in the long run with the better trade walking along the Lush, right? So what is like, dude, I don't really know, honestly. I can't tell what would be better late game versus between Gaia and Kronos. It just feels like Gaia because of such a better economy, such a more efficient economy, rather.
Yeah, so, you know, once you have your Gaia trees getting gathered from, once you're printing from your second Hesperides tree, that is 10 extra myth units that don't cost population. Your caravans are more population efficient because of this extra movement speed that they get. It's not just the caravans, like if you can spread your lush everywhere, your entire army will regenerate and move faster, so there's that too.
True.
I tend to agree with you.
He's gonna need it
like,
here,
Gaia
dude.
is great.
Go ahead, Donka.
Gaia is great, that's it. I'm done.
As simple as that. Gaia is great. All right, well, what else is great is Kronos Siege at the same time, man. That's maybe why he's doing a pretty good job stopping that TC on that bottom side. Now he's starting to take down a bunch of these palaces right here. This is looking pretty decent for Grassman. Ryuk's kind of getting knocked down here.
Agreed. Agreed. They're about the same in terms of resources, though, for food and gold. So Ryuk can definitely work with that. He's struggling a little bit with wood, but he's getting in his first Hesperides tree. If he remembers to use Gaia Forest, that would be great. Also, another tool he has available is the much buffed Tartarian Gate. They pump out so many more Tartarian spawns in this DM mod that we're playing on that, you know, it's just actually a mythic tier god power these days. It's also recastable for just 200 favor, much like the third Hesperides tree. So Ryuk might very well make use of that on repeat rather than getting a third tree anytime soon. One thing he's got to do, though, is spread the lush all over. Ooh,
dude,
sneaky.
Spread the lush? He needs to stop the town center from coming in. Are you kidding me?
Yep. Yeah, he does. That might be a good use of the Tartarian Gate. Just put it right here between the tower and the palace. Most of them will be spawned in this direction. Grass will have to respond to it and deal with it.
Wow, Grass is looking good here. I thought that Ryuk was looking so good because he had all those palaces right in front of this settlement we're looking at. But then, you know, suddenly he just loses all his palaces. He's looking way sketchy now.
Yeah, you're right. Look at this population disparity between the two armies. Grass just suddenly has an extra 20 population. How and from where? Is it the caravans? I think it's the caravan difference, man. Because their villagers are about the same. But there's like
Grass is starting to make his own caravans.
Here. That's a lot.
Well, the one saving grace here for Ryuk is that he can maybe stop that town center from constructing because it's deathmatch. They're so slow, and he stopped one. Okay, he stopped one. Objective 1 complete. This other one though is so close.
I have to say, Maiden, even then, even if this comes up, Grass's economy is not looking so hot right now. If Ryuk can just wreck this army one time, he can't afford to remake that. Perhaps he can keep pushing.
Yeah, that is a fair point. And those fire siphons are expensive, man. So, like, Cantarius they're not Thea Cantarius, so...
They are.
They're
Ryuk's
well,
ones
no,
are.
on yeah, Ryuk's are not on Grass's side though, but his army in general is a little bit. There's a Tartarian.
Oh, he doesn't want to deal with that. Just using up the vortex. But the second vortex, sir, is gonna cost 100 favor because, well, you remember the legacy game and what vortex was capable of doing with Atlanteans. So here's a fairer approach.
I can get down with that. I'm okay with that. I'm definitely okay with that.
I know you'd be sold on that one. I remember our conversations. Well, this TC is gone.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Ryuk was hoping to accomplish. Grass maybe overreacting a little bit to this. He only really needed to send back the siphons, honestly.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. But even so, he still has a nice position there where it's a lot of snipers. Whoa, that's a lot of... That was huge, dude. Those satyrs are huge.
That's a great combo as well when you get them to fight each other with chaos and then you unleash the special attacks. That's when the Arcus should be disappearing. Unfortunately, the timing wasn't the best. Maybe next time. But the Arcus are still not safe. Far from it. They're not heroes. Oh, there they go.
Dude, Grass's position here is still really nice. He's got this town center coming up over here, over on the other side. He's, you know, he still has all the towers and palaces and everything. He's still pushing here. He's looking really good, man.
Yeah, Ryuk is working on chipping away at this, so it's not necessarily over by any means. A bit of gold setting is probably in order, though. Bit of imbalance is there. The triple printing from the Hesperides trees is now a thing. Up to 15 dryads will be possible. Even better if they are standing on Lush, but Ryuk doesn't do that just yet. We'll see if he changes that around.
Well, so here's the thing, Naka. Like, I know, you know, Grass, for the most part, Grass's eco is pretty low, but as long as he's able to stay popped, he's, you know, he's still okay, right? He's up at the pop cap. He's floating a couple resources here and there. So, you know, I personally would feel more comfortable with a little bit more economy. But again, if he can stay pop capped and, you know, rebuild this TC, he's kind of doing what he needs to do. That's good macro, if anything.
And he's gaining more population than he's spending on these builders, so that's probably an important point to make as well. He's comfortable here. And all these satyrs are wrecking those tree girls. Wow.
I don't know. There's, when you get a chance, down on that bottom side. Yeah, exactly. What is he? Okay, so we see Ryuk rebuilding some stuff over here. Is that a palace, maybe? One of those buildings, maybe a palace? Yes. He's got to get some siege output. There we go. Okay. He's got to get some siege output over there to try and take that TC down, which is good, but he's got a long road ahead of him, in my opinion.
Well, that is going to be his one chance, yes, to get some siphons going now, to hit that other side somehow, and to pick up these satyrs. Those are the top missions, and then when the cooldown is done, then Tartarian Gate number 2 will be great. Other than that, I don't have much in mind for Ryuk right now. It's looking dire, but these are the plays available. Hey, great focus fire on those siphons. Good job.
Agreed. I think he needs an answer. Dude, I know this. You already mentioned Satyr. He just really needs an answer for those Satyrs, dude. How many are there? What, 7? 6 or so? Those things have been shredding for quite some time. He's got to get an answer for those. And hey, Hero Arcus. He can maybe snipe a couple. Maybe. Ooh, good micro from Grass.
Oh no. 4 TCs. 4 TCs. This is a disaster. Ryuk needs to deal with the situation before this comes up. Oh my god. If Grass can pop out to 260 pop, that's basically spelling out the end.
There it is, man. There it is. 4 town centers in, but I just, you know, earlier we were mentioning his economy. He's, you know, barely able to float resources. Now he's got that much more pop space. Might want to pop out a couple of additional trade caravans as well. And he is, if you look at his global production.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to get out some of his own fire siphons so that he can win the siege war. Hey, we finally got the Lush push as well.
Gotta use your bonuses, man. Gotta do what you gotta do. I like it, man. He's got to keep those things going. I think that's more economic guilds he's building, actually.
Yeah, there's more.
Yeah.
That's great. Every unit needs to regenerate here and be fast because that's his only real tool available. Okay, are we gonna see another Tartarian gate perhaps? That'll be quite neat. But I suppose you got all these fire siphons here. It's not the best location to cast it because they'll just immediately get rid of it, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, Naka, think about like kind of a lot of classic theories or strategy by using a Tartarian gate. You use it on the backside of your opponent's base, on their main town center, back town center, something like that, which forces them to react, which means you can push on their front. And so it's like you hit the back with Tart gate, and then you can push on the front. That could open up an opportunity for Ryuk here, especially since he has palaces, fire siphons, etc., to try and shred down some of these buildings and reclaim a town center.
Well, I'd love to see that. And you know, Ryuk is definitely not giving up. He's fixed the trade. So these guys are not 4.6 now, they're 5.2 speed. And you know, this is actually a location where you can put your Tartarian gate on the markets. That's very difficult to dislodge. You probably have to use Vortex, at which point the army deals with your front build.
Actually, speaking of Vortex, dude, Grass has 126 favor. So he does have enough to reuse Vortex. But if he starts, for example, spamming out some satyrs or something like that, and he dips below that 100 pop or 100 favor amount, obviously Ryuk won't know that, but Grass could get himself into some hot water. Yeah. Wait. Oh, interesting.
Main, what's happening with Grass? He's got units coming from Narnia and nothing from up close. This could be bad. The fire siphons are working away at the TC. There's plenty of help here. Ooh, Ryuk might be turning it around.
Wow.
It's all thanks to the Narnians.
Chronicles of Narnia showing up in Age of Mythology. It's fairly appropriate in all sincerity. We have Mr. Tumnus. Where's
he did it!
Tumnuses?
Yes, I called it. Yes! We got the trade route Tartarian gate. That's it.
Now is it gonna react with the what's it called? With the Vortex?
Ooh, dude, he's also raiding the villagers at the same time with the Contarius, picking them off. Probably in one of Grass's more vulnerable moments. This is great. The man's still
it's great if you're cheering for Ryuk.
I'm cheering for the longer games. Everybody's getting healed on this slash. Well, I mean, yeah, dude, that's so fine. It felt like finally Ryuk is using, you know, that lush bonus. He's doing what he needs to do, using it on his trade route, using it on the battlefield, etc. He's put himself into a much better position. Killing that trade route is so sick. Are you surprised at all that we don't see the Vortex reaction to delete it? He had the favor, he had the god power, but he didn't want to lose the front, and he gets the base back somehow. But just as quickly, it should disappear.
What, 3 fire siphons looks like, 2 of which are going after the town center. Nothing's repairing the TC. Dude, that thing is down right away. Wow.
Yeah, Grass is getting broke from the lack of trade. And oh my god, the trade is actually going through the middle of the map. This could be an opportunity in the long term. And at some point, Tartarian Gate will be back, and it doesn't escalate in cost very much. Only 5 favor per extra recast additional on top. So it's always like 200 something.
Is that not a little bit crazy? I mean, if you look at the Hesperides tree, 325 for another Hesperides tree.
It does give you 5 extra Dryads, to be fair. So, you know.
Okay, true.
But yeah, like all the mythic powers have this. I think that they escalate by like 5 or 10, depending on what it is. Meteor, Lightning Storm, they all do this. Maybe that's a thing to discuss for, you know, changing that as well in the mod. I don't know, but that's the way it is.
That's what it is. Good chaos there, good chaos. We see some more Mr. Tumnuses showing up, a couple more satyrs. Doesn't quite have a mask yet, but 80 gold, that's actually not too bad, man.
It's not much worse than Ryuk's, although Ryuk's is also faster on top of that, so there's definitely a difference here. Now the Gaia tree's getting cast. Ryuk will need all the gather rate he can get. Because, you know, all things considered, he's doing well, but there still isn't enough to actually equalize the game.
Yeah, I mean, indeed, this is such a close game. This is much more of a stalemate than I thought it would be. After Grass got into 4-2 TC position, man, I thought he was going to fly to victory, but Ryuk is putting in the work here. He's doing a great job holding and pushing back even.
You know, one thing he could have done differently, Ryuk that is these Hesperish trees, the capture mechanics in Retold work differently from the old game. So you could just put the trees directly on the front line. As long as you have a building nearby, it can't be taken from you. So the buildings would need to be cleaned up. And if they are there, they will be healing the nearby dryads, other myth units, whatever.
Not a bad idea.
So I think that would be neat. Every little bit counts here.
Sure. Sometimes you got to take a little risk to, you know, get some type of reward, huh? I guess it's not that risky, but if you lose the position, I guess what I'm saying.
Oh, if you lose the position, you're screwed.
Well. Yeah.
For sure.
Still, he's looking solid enough that maybe he could actually pull it off right now. Maybe that would give him a little bit more oomph in order to get through this stalemate right here.
Ryuk's running a much lower civilian population because his caravans can do so much more. Plus, of course, let's not forget the Gaia tree improvements. There's some extra gather rates from that. Instead of 2.18, he gets 2.28 from that. Every little bit counts. The heroes get 2.51, so it's worth turning your citizens into heroes in the long term if you have the eco. And Grass?
But plus on top of that, remember the theft of fire citizens on the Kronos side. So economically,
you're right.
It's not, you know, that is something for Kronos at least.
I mean, Grass needs to remember it, not me. He does not. Okay, there's one there. Fair enough. But it's building. It's better at that, to be fair.
All right, there we go.
Oi.
Man, there's another one.
I didn't go in the trade this time, but hey, the farmers can't deal with it. And like I said before, the buff for this building was that it has more health and that there's more spawns. So these villagers are in for a rough one. Oh, they're dying left and right. Jesus Christ.
Well, dude, it's right next to the trade route, actually. Look at those caravans going right next to it.
Why are they going there? What? Where's their market? This market? Okay. Yeah. That's not the best marketing strategy that I've seen. Ryuk is gonna be punishing that. I mean, Grass is already punished. Now he's able to field a bigger army, so that might help him defend himself. But I think Ryuk just goes to push to take the TC. Economic Guild coming up first, of course. Oh, he's in the middle of the caravans. This is gonna be a llama slaughter.
Lot of dead llamas. Dude, with those Arcus sitting right there, they could snipe so many.
Okay, the Tartarian Gate is getting taken out, but at what cost? So many villagers have died, and I'm not sure they're done dying just yet. They prioritize the Cutarius, it's fine.
He lost a ton. I think he went from 100 citizen pop down to 70. I think. I wasn't paying super close attention, but... That's a lot of dead citizens. Yes. Yes. Wow. Naka, wow. What are we watching? I thought Ryuk was so dead. What a... Ooh. Oh, indeed. That is a dead trade route, my friend.
Did villagers come in there? What happened? I missed it. A bunch of units must have broken through. Look at that Giga Chat Destroyer going to work on the villagers. Well, that won't do much damage to the villagers, but they're trying.
That's actually really clutch. The Grass, you know, messing up the trade route like that. He's because he's losing ground. He's losing ground. I don't know exactly when that happened down on the bottom side, but still, he's losing ground down, and that TC's maybe going to be denied. Check it out.
Ooh, nice job by Grass. He's not dead, ladies and gentlemen. He still has a lot of juice left. That's, however, a large number of Dryads to face. And he doesn't have Mass Satyr this time. Certainly
No
can't afford a
heroes.
second Vortex.
Yeah,
This is great.
dude, that's what I was saying. He still hasn't used his second Vortex. He's been hanging on to that thing for quite some time, despite having the favor for it. I guess he's never felt comfortable to Vortex away from the battlefront here. But
That's
still,
it.
now he definitely can't.
Because the cost isn't prohibitive. 100 favor isn't that much. But now Ryuk is also winning on the front. He's kicking the Llamas' butts. And even the Arcus have to retreat quite deep into his own territory. The Dryad's just chasing while regenerating, of course. These girls get quite a bit of regeneration out of the Hecate upgrades. And there's a lot of them, so it really adds up.
Oh.
Dude, those Arcus. What Arcus?
I know. What a back and forth game. It seems like Grass is starting to put, sort of just stop the push, and then Ryuk is continuing it, and then the market interruption and whatnot. This is Ryuk's looking, despite the trade disruption, man. Recon's looking pretty chill here right now. Oh snap!
How many chickens? Bro!
You hungry, Naka?
This Lampade has turned 5 people into chickens already. Paying for herself many times over. Good job just sticking her there, honestly. Okay, that's the end. Hero Destroyer now.
It's good while it lasted. Oh my god, dude, look at the military population for Grass. Look at the military pop for Grass. He's down on food. He's down on gold. Barely floating any wood. He's getting pushed super hard.
He doesn't have caravans,
Destroyers
sir.
are getting turned into chickens, man. He's toast.
Oh man. They're club sandwich at this point. I might be hungry.
I know,
Center's
right?
getting destroyed.
Sandwiches and toast and chicken, oh my. Here it goes. Town center down. Oh, villager down, eco down, town center down.
Huge raid here. This was Grass's way back into this game, the economy. It was his only chance, but he doesn't have it anymore. Man, how did this turn around, Maiden? I don't understand. Ryuk just did so well on every front. He basically implemented all the little things we were talking about, and it works. It's crazy.
Maybe he was holding. It's like he started getting the Gaia Lush going. He stabilized. I don't know if he changed his army composition or anything, but he kind of stabilized, got the Gaia Lush going, and then he used a Tartarian Gate on the markets of Grass, and it feels like that really messed up Grass.
And he's almost ready for another Tartarian Gate. Just imagine that.
And still no additional Vortex. Well, we don't have a resignation yet, so I guess there's still life in the kid so far. Maybe not a lot of life, but
dude, Grass
he's a
doesn't
young
give up.
whippersnapper.
That's his personality trait. I had to open my stupid mouth. Anyway.
Perfect timing. Ay.
Just looking at the timeline here of civilians. And yeah, Grass was just significantly ahead in that, but as soon as Ryuk started using his god powers, the Tartarian Gates to clean him up, this completely turned around and the man just fell apart. Even though he outkilled Ryuk, actually. That was pretty nice.
Not a huge discrepancy there, but, by all means. That's good. Wow. Wait. Settlements captured 1. What? That's got to be a bug.
Oh, these stats are... I shouldn't even... Game number 2, we've got a Zeus player. It is a Grass. It is a red player. Wow.
And we have a blue player, Naka, going with, Ra here, Ryuk. I have a little tickle in my pickle that says he's going for triple Son of Osiris.
Yes, exactly. That's literally what he does. You must have seen this. That's what he likes to do. So first he goes Ptah, then he, depending on the situation, might go Sekhmet or Sobek. This time it's gonna be Sekhmet, which means that he will just have more population this way, but slower building buildings. Look, Ra doesn't need faster building buildings from Mudbrick, right? You already got the monument empowering, you're gonna have 1 million barracks. And then spam. Now, let's see if it's Horus or whether it's gonna be Osiris. I think the Osiris call is a good one. Let's see.
Well, he did it against he did it against Luki in the semifinal game. Yeah, and it was with Ra. That's right, it was with Ra, and he ended up losing the game. And so we were kind of talking about it after, and he's all, "Oh, it's so much stronger with Isis, blah blah blah." So maybe he learned his lesson a little bit. Maybe he's gonna tweak his execution or something here. But it was actually this exact. Nope, it's Horus. It's Horus. Okay.
Well, look at him. He's already flooding the absolute living hell out of grass. These are Horus Axemen, and they're gonna wreck this Greek infantry. To be fair, the Hippospis have a chance. But look, the training speed on these people is nuts because the monument empowers them. I don't think Grass can hold. He doesn't have the buildings. I think he's already dead, Maiden. This is the worst kind of scenario. So what you gotta do with Greek is you wall off, right? Your buildings have to touch shoulder to shoulder so that they prevent this nonsense. And then you just very defensively hold on to dear life. Use your restoration if you must and get out of this pickle, but bro, he's overwhelmed.
Yeah, speaking of, what you definitely want to do is save your villagers, Naka.
What villagers?
Yes. He's 10 to 21 already, 11. Ay.
He's gonna try to make some dinosaurs. At this rate, I would say Medusa would be better because you can petrify the elephants at least. At the moment, they're gonna be here to tear down buildings. This is nasty business. If Ryuk does another wave of Axemen, they're gonna tear down the buildings too. Restorations is in. But guess what? These slingers are super slingers. They're not getting any better than this. So first off, they train super fast because they are empowered from the barracks. Then they have divine damage because of electron bullets. Then they have multipliers against infantry because of Slings of the Sun. What do you do?
Well, that's good and all, but it feels like Ryuk kind of pulled his foot off the gas a little bit. I kind of would have liked more Axemen in all sincerity. Sure, yes. Mix in some slingers. I don't like the elephant switch, dude. I don't think I like the elephant switch. I think he swapped from Axemen to elephants, and he kind of kneecapped himself. It almost seems like.
Well, to be fair, Grass has his second base going. Maybe he's holding, but let's not forget that Ryuk still has shifting sands as well. So if he can get just a single camel in there, he can cause some serious chaos, especially if it's full of Axemen. There's 25 Horus Axemen. They can shred the entire main base with all the houses in it. So it's just a matter of getting in there.
Yeah.
And because he's so campy, I think he's preparing for that.
But that's exactly what I was going to say. NT minus, 5, 4. But at the same time, look at these hoplites pushing in. Those are Zeus hoplites. Those things can shred buildings themselves. So he can shift away, but that opens himself up to getting shredded as well. Ooh.
Bronze dinosaurs. That's it. Oh, shifting sands is in. Defensively? Huh?
Okay.
I'm confused now.
Playing cautious. I can't fault him too much.
To be fair, okay, he had a really good pump early on. He outkilled our Zeus player, and the resources reflect that. Maybe he just thinks, okay, I've done my work, good enough, let's head back home. Let's stop a town center, let's defend, again, cost effectively, because there's all these Migdols. And that's good enough, maybe.
Well, I guess ultimately he probably just didn't want to fight. I mean, specifically for the shifting sands. I don't think he wanted to fight that bronze with 3 bronze hydras.
Yeah, of course.
He probably didn't have line of sight into the main base, so that wasn't even an option. Going defensively, probably a decent decision in the moment.
Yeah, these slingers are absolutely messing up the Toxotes. A ton of corpses all of a sudden, once the targeting was right. And the catapult should be more than capable of handling the Helipolis. A little bit of repairs, a little bit of resource gathering from Ryuk now, and he should be golden. It's the golden boy.
I mean, indeed,
What?
these.
Oh no! Oh, what? He got like 6 villagers with that. It's not bad. It's also not amazing. I think if you use Tornado on the army, everything here gets sucked up. So isn't that better?
Probably. You could always get unlucky with the tornado on units, but probably, yeah. Oh, the dino's going down, Naka. It hurts. There's such a cool unit.
Man, these priests are just so strong. Oh god, here comes lightning. Okay, that should be a bit of an equalizer. But will it equalize before the entire Greek army is dead? Probably not. Dude, no population versus no population now. Oh my god, it did so much.
Wow, that was pretty brutal. Those slingers that stayed there, man, those are some valiant little slingers, man. Holy smokes. That was pretty brutal. That was pretty darn brutal.
Hey, good news for Ryuk. He kept all his villagers through this, so he can build up now, and neither player has a lot of population. Meanwhile, Ryuk has so much stuff to pump from. All these buildings are putting the numbers up. It's neat. 22 villagers
Very
versus
neat.
48.
It's a bad dude. That is a huge deal. So, you know, it's just, plus there's, as we saw on that third town center, a lot of the villagers that Grass and Groom does have are super low HP. So he could, you know, again, drop another 5-10 villagers if he's not careful. Big fight here. Build difference is pretty huge at this stage of the game, honestly. Pretty important.
By the way, everyone, make sure to watch Ryuk's gold. If it's, wood. If it significantly drops, you know he's selling at the market. He's got plenty, so I think he's gonna do it.
Dude, Naka, is it viable for a Greek of all civilizations to sell wood first?
Yes. You have to be moderate with it. Like, you just want to ruin the rates, right? You don't want to actually sell too much of your wood.
I'm just looking at it, dude. He's got 7k in the bank. Grass Move has 7k in the bank. So if you focus on military or on melee units early, you could maybe afford that. Sell 2,000-3,000, something like that.
But get in some cavalry if you do, you know? That's the one time where I actually endorse Hippeus in Deathmatch. Other cases, maybe not so much, but hey, you got Dionysus here. They're not gonna do too bad anyway.
Very true. Very true. Dude, I actually like Hippeus, man. Like, you know, like an early volley of like 10 Hippeus, something like that, to go for some Vil snipes. I like it. I like it.
It can work, but if it backfires, it's so expensive, you know?
I know. I mean, I'm not saying that's your core unit composition, but you know, getting in a volley or so.
It can definitely work. We've seen it even in this tournament. Ooh, nice save on the Bellerophon, but you can't heal. No Apollo.
You can pick off catapults pretty easily with that guy, though. 1
That's
HP or full HP, doesn't matter.
It's all the same. Hey, is actually Grass recovering here? I think he might be. Ryuk has another citadel ready to go whenever he wants it. Ooh, he's got a lot of idle villagers. That's bad. And the hoplites are hitting him pretty hard also. Although there's a Migdal here to defend. And the caravans are starting up. Maybe there is hope for Grass yet.
I agree. He's starting a trade route. He's got his 3 TCs, you know. Yeah, so he's starting to, he's up to 48 Vils. He's, you know, he's fighting back. He's solidifying. You know, Ryuk's still in the better position, obviously, here, at least economically or whatnot. It's, I don't know if he can ride that to victory, but comeback, I think, for sure.
Peltas are doing a great job of targeting all the range units of Ryuk, but he's shooting back with slingers. They're not half bad themselves.
Yikes, they are. Look at all those dead Peltas suddenly. Boom, boom, boom. Gotta micro those puppies, though. That's the thing, those counter units. You gotta micro them. Divine damage and upgrades and whatnot. Yes, you know, sure. But still, gotta micro them.
Come the Myrmidons. They're for free, as long as you have the fortresses. And Grass has plenty. So that's a very nice thing in this low economy situation to just help his numbers a little bit.
It's a form of an economic boost, right? For units.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if you can separate them and use them like for sieging purposes. I think that's great.
Even raiding, dude, at this stage of the game, raiding a gold mine, something like that could be sick.
Yeah, and you know, like get 10 of those, they'll be able to handle this Migdor stronghold on the side that's protecting the vills. Can't just send camels after them because they'll lose.
Those slingers are putting in work, man. They're putting in some serious work. He's had a nice big clump of them for quite some time.
So many Peltas. I think we might be in that phase of the game where Greek just gets to control. So unless Ryuk comes out with a much larger army, I'm not sure what he can do.
Well,
running away from this would be the worst. Oh,
well, what about the camels? Try and, you know, if we've seen Grass kind of lax in his micro a little bit, drawn some arrow fire, some Peltas fire with the camels while the slingers shred. There's, you know, there's options. And he does retreat. I mean, check it out.
It's working. That shouldn't have worked, but it's working. He pumped some more stuff out. I think he's max villagers. He's got a lot of caravans behind this. So that's the one thing you gotta be careful with. Remembering to use the citadel now would be the big deal. But do you think he's saving up for the tornado? I think that, I can't explain it. Like, he already has enough favor to have 3 citadels, but he's only ever used the first. So I think he's saving for a tornado.
That's exactly what I was just going to ask you, man. Is he saving for it? I mean, he's so close. Why not? At this point in time, why not, right? He came this far.
He came this far. And you know what? Grass's economy is kind of in tatters. I don't even know how, but I guess he's just losing a little bit too many units. His overall villager count is okay. He's got a little trade. So it's definitely not terrible, but it's not fantastic either.
He's got 35 on farms, man. 24 on wood, 21 on gold plus trade route. Or does that count? Does the 21 include trade caravans?
It does.
I can never remember. It does? Okay. Well, anyway. His eco should be decent enough. He's a little bit low as pop cap. That's like what I said in the previous game, man. It's like, it's one thing not to be floating resources, but if you could say pop, you know, then you're at least all right.
Yeah, and it seems to me Ryuk is doing that a little bit better, the whole staying pop part. I don't think he's getting out-killed, but it's okay as long as you can afford it and keep pumping.
Ultimately, Naka, like, they're both making a bunch of slingers and Peltas. It's like, that's not a pushing army. Whereas an elephant is a pusher.
That is a pusher. There's gonna be also other siege weapons, supposedly. And taking out the houses itself is a really good little tactic, because the other guy will be dropping in population, probably won't notice for a short amount of time. Even if you instantly notice, you still have to spend time rebuilding that thing. And this gives Ryuk an even bigger advantage, and now with Tornado in just 7 favor, where's he gonna use
those
it?
Peltasts and the talks right there. Ooh, that's a bit delicious. A bit.
Let us have it. Let the chat feast. No! No!
Naka, just shush. You keep jinxing it.
I can't believe it. That's the second time. Curses upon thee. Okay, anyway.
We can imagine it though. It was nice. It was good.
Anyways, 522 kills. Yeah, he was out-killing Ryuk, but Ryuk just has the bigger economy, therefore he can keep pumping. GG. ladies and gentlemen, we've got ourselves a game number 3 in this best of 5, but Ryuk is currently leading 2-0. Grass over here in the red color, playing as 4, has to come up with something, or he dead.
He very dead. We got over here in the blue, Ryuk. Ryuk is so close to tasting that victory. Very close. Can he do it with Hades? Hades against Thor. That's a little, I don't know. It's a little sketchy. He went up through Ares, so he's going to have good Hippospis early on. Right?
That's right, and he's also going to have a massive pestilence. If Grass keeps building as he usually does in a big clump, that's not going to work. Right? Ryuk just builds a lot of military academies, follows up with some archery ranges, and spam. Pestilence, spam. We'll have to see if Grass can hold that. That's the big mission. You spoke about this in one of your streams, Maiden, actually, that the map reminds you of Olympus. I think it's basically exactly that. The only difference is that there's no gold mines in the middle. And no boars in the middle. But otherwise, it's the same. It's highly open. Hades should be rather dominant here. And the Pantheons.
Well, so that the open in this specific matchup, all those Hippospis in your face immediately. Like you're trying to bust out a bunch of berserks, so you could quickly build, spam, etc. But then they're just getting countered completely hardcore.
That's right.
By those strong Hippospis, man.
It's a super short rush distance, so really the throwing axemen are your only hope, Obi-Wan Kenobi. But if even they have to fight in melee against Hippospis, that's gonna be ugly. In large numbers, they can defend themselves. That's fine, but you have to get there, and to do that through pestilence is hard.
Yeah, so building so far forward is pretty sketchy. I think I saw Luke earlier today. He kind of built to the side over to his back town center and then tried to just push forward after that. And I think that's one way to mitigate this heavy Hippospis spam, at least for the Norse player. He's looking kind of okay here, though. He's got a nice little enclave of those throwing axemen. Yeah, man. He's got a good number of hill forts. Yeah, it is okay. Things are okay.
But everything is about to be pestilence in 5, 4. Oh wait, Ryuk is losing line of sight. He might not click it.
Pegasus?
He's clicking. The Pegasus can see quite far. That's true. He hits every building, Iron Maiden. He hits every building.
Ouch.
The only thing Ryuk is not doing in this game, he's doing everything correctly, getting the TCs even, but he's not making Peltas. Peltas absolutely dumps on throwing axemen, so that's my one addition here.
Dude, indeed. How is he still kind of winning this fight? Those throwing axemen are shredding, apparently.
Oh, they're insane, man. Like, throwing axemen in a large concave in large numbers, they eat Hippospis for breakfast, especially with Battle War support. So that's why you need the Peltas to pick them off. This is gonna be expensive for Ryuk.
Peltas, but on top of the Peltas real quick, he went up to Artemis, so he's got the Shafts of Plague upgrade. You can see all those little poison glowy dealios. Oh!
There's that too. Get a few more and we're talking. Oh, he's getting Manticores. That's also a decent answer.
Actually, since gold is almost always your first resource that runs out, I actually maybe prefer Manticores.
Oh, the Chimera are food actually in Retold. But yeah.
Oh yeah!
But that's the same as Hippospis, and they are expensive, so, I agree with the Manticore thing.
Dude, I have so much legacy bias, it's a little embarrassing.
Hey, it happened to me the reverse way today. So I was expecting Lampades to be wood because like Medusa and Mummies are. They aren't. They're actually gold. So shit happens,
I got some studying to do. I need a pamphlet like the old days. The CD came with a pamphlet. I need a pamphlet. Ooh, I need some more special attacks on the throwing axemen.
That was good, but now the Manticores are toast. So Grass kind of using up his flaming weapons to get in here. We do have Sentinel available. That might buy a moment or two.
Is he going too deep, though? Is he going too deep? I guess there's not a lot of towers.
Oh, he's getting zombed. They'll help, definitely. 26 attack apiece. Jeez. And now, I definitely think this is manageable for Ryuk. He's done such a good job getting to 3 town centers, 235 population now, against Grass's, what, molten population. There's nothing left.
Dude. He went too deep. He went too deep. The Manticores got their special attack off. Most of his army had like half HP. Look at the throwing axeman, dude. Look at that. He runs in with a half HP army. Sure, it's kind of good with flaming weapons, but as soon as flaming weapons runs out, boom, Ryuk just turns around and half the army's toast. He would stay there way too long, man.
And these are the only boys that escaped. Everyone else is dead. So everything else is new units, which means he's broke. Look at the gold.
Yeah. Don't worry, he's got 4 eco units.
Are being made, but they're being sent to the regular gold mine, not the dwarven mine, which gives 50% extra base gather rate, which is insane.
Oh, God. Winter. Okay.
Here comes. Fimbulwinter.
Oh.
These puppies are, I mean, at least forcing a garrison, but they're not going to damage the buildings, really. Let's see what the Huskar can do.
This is so huge. If he's able to pick off a bunch of these units, there's still plenty of resource. Oh,
Ryuk is going to use the underworld to run away. A lot of his stuff died, but at least he got out. Short range underworld.
Well, that was probably worth it. It's hard to say. That's probably worth it, especially considering Underworld is eventually reusable. Like, if this was back in the day with only 1 usage of Underworld, it's like, you hate to see it that way sometimes. But, you know, sometimes you just gotta escape.
Well, Iron Maiden, it's gonna get worse because Earthquake is ready. Ooh. So he's gonna hit something that's gonna hurt. It could be houses, could be a town center. These wolves of grass, however, certainly have some potential, especially if you combine them together with Huskar. This 26 Huskar!
Wow.
They sneeze at the town center and it disappears.
Yeah, and then the walls pick up vills that may or may not be there.
Yep.
He's going for it. Oh, this could be sick. If he's able to find some vills, man. There's vills on that gold mine. That back gold mine for Ryuk. That could be a sick spot. Ooh.
That's right.
He might be going for it. I think he is. Oh. Nice.
Earthquake on the houses. Woo! They're all going down. What houses? The town center itself is getting really close to being destroyed. Oh, 266 health. Look at this the wrong way, and it's gone. Maybe a Gastrophides can get over there. The fortress is under attack, but the Vills escaped. Perseus is here to manage the situation with all the heroes. Great response from Ryuk.
Wow, and look at all those villagers retreating. That evidently, yeah, look at that. That apparently was an amazing reaction time by Ryuk not to get raided hard right there.
Yeah, man, and even in the front, he's not falling apart. Grass, however, finally figured out that yes, wolves are gonna be the answer. Unfortunately for him, he only has the 1 temple. He has plenty of favor, plenty of food. He could be getting so much more, but now the buildings are taking them down, and as they get taken down, their speed decreases, making them more chaseable. Oh god, they're all gone.
Oh, dude, you want to know what else is gone? Exactly, Grass and Groom is gone.
Oh no.
Look at his wood. No wood. All of his Huskarls died. All of his doggies died, even though he rebuilt some. All of his houses died. Can't rebuild them. He's toast.
He made some, but that's it. There's no more. He couldn't have remade all of them. And that's not a good place to be in. Oh man, that's rough. Never got to use some of his god powers there. Grass certainly tried, but Ryuk was in good shape today. Certainly showed him the power of experience, and I'm sure Grass will get there too. This is just all about the amount of deathmatch games played, I think, because mechanically they look similar.
Dude, I mean, absolutely. It's not like Grass is completely newbie in terms of deathmatch. Like, he's played plenty of deathmatch before. I think he's maybe played in a tournament before, actually, Naka. You might remember better than me.
Several? Okay. Ryuk has more, you know, like, that's all there is to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
GGs.
But even so, I think that this is one specific matchup. Everything that you and I were talking about early on, the Hippospis spam, this map specifically, where he's building, getting pestilenced, all that stuff. I think that's something you learn with just a teensy bit more experience with Deathmatch. You learn it, and then it's one thing to learn it and have it happen to you, but you also have to like figure out how to. You have to play enough to figure out how to counterplay it, if that makes sense.
That's right.
So again, back to the experience, hey?
We want to thank our MetaPlace website subscribers. Your contribution helps us keep the project sustainable. As we reach higher subscription goals, you are helping us cover more and more behind-the-scenes costs, such as video editing. Check out our subscription page using the link in the description, and remember to collect your perks. We will see you the next time.